Hey guys, what's going on? Let me adjust this a little bit. Oops. All right. Hey, I don't know what happened. Like I used to be like the biggest, like have to be in bed by 9 o'clock, and then I don't know what happened. Like all of a sudden I've become like the super night owl, and so I'm extra productive at night. And then in the morning I just want to like drag. And so I'm trying to recalibrate my schedule, so just bear with me. But I could not what I've found is that a lot of times like I get the most work for my clients done during the day, and so then the stuff that I need to do behind the scenes I find myself doing it late at night. So here I am. What's going on, Chuck? Oh my gosh. What's going on, guys? 30 books in 30 weeks. This week we're talking about one of my own books, Love Miscarriage. It is my favorite project that I've done thus far. It's the beginning of a trilogy. I'm working on the second book to it now. But so I'm bringing Love Miscarriage as part of the 30 books in 30 weeks is our personal development series. So as you guys come in, we're going to talk about what is a love miscarriage. Feel free to share the video out if you catch it on the replay, which considering I'm on so late, it's highly likely that you're probably catching it on the replay. And if you've missed any of the videos, we're in week 14 right now. If you've missed any of them, everything, all 102 days can be found on my YouTube channel, so check that out. But we're talking about love miscarriage. For those of you who don't know me, don't know what this is all about, my name is Marcy Batiste. I'm a speaker, I'm an author, and most importantly, I am a reality-based success and recovery trainer. And to that point, staying in relation with reality is critical. Hey, Gregory, you're on late tonight, too. I'm known for a few things. Number one, I live life on Mars, operate from a space that is my world, my life, my rules. Number two, I am sold out to my happiness. That is kind of my beacon of light, my true north. That's what keeps me knowing and being in relation with the right people, because if it doesn't feed or fuel my happiness, then I know that I probably need to steer clear of it. It's probably not in my best interest. What's going on, Jay? Thanks for joining me, you guys. So, but most importantly, the thing that I love is truly helping women shine. And so that's why I say, like, I invest a good portion of the day doing stuff for my clients and getting ready for, to be able to deliver for them and be able to pour out of my cup. And so looking for ways to refill my cup and things like that. And 30 books in 30 weeks, my personal development reading is a way that I can do that. And by sharing these videos with you all, it's a way that you all get to kind of work with me vicariously via video. So 30 books in 30 weeks. Tonight we're talking about love miscarriage. And I know one of the questions that I get all the time is, oh my gosh, that's such an amazing title for a book. What does it mean? It immediately caught my attention, and then nobody really kind of knows what is that exactly, because it's kind of like an oxymoron when you think of love from a traditional standpoint and you think of miscarriage as in the miscarriage of a birth. And so I really wanted to take a few minutes to really dive into why I came up with the title that I came up with. And actually, I didn't come up with the title. The title like came to me in the midst of the writing process, in the middle of the creative process, where I was really thinking, what does this represent? And so a love miscarriage is like, it's a likening to the miscarriage of a birth. And the standpoint that very similar to the birth of a child, when a woman and a lot of men also find out that they're going to have a baby, you naturally begin having these thoughts and these fantasies about what this baby is going to be like, how it's going to impact your life, the things that are going to have to change as a result of this new life being brought into the world. You begin to envision, are you going to do barrettes or basketballs? Are you going to do the ballet or baseball? Is it going to be Barbie dolls or pickup trucks? That sort of thing. And so you start beginning to envision what this experience as a parent with this new life is going to be like. And when you have a miscarriage, for those of you who've had them, my heart goes out to you, because it is a tremendous loss, and people don't understand how significant that loss really is, if they haven't walked a mile in those shoes. And fortunately, I've not had a birth miscarriage, but I have had a love miscarriage. And so it's very similar to that from the standpoint that, like, you begin to see the child all grown up when you find out that you're pregnant. When you first meet someone and you kind of click and you think, oh my gosh, this could be it. Like, he could be the one, she could be the one. And then they just fall off. They ghost you. And you're just like, what happened? Like, you have no closure. You have no explanation. Similar to the miscarriage of a birth, you have no explanation. You don't know why it ended. You just know that everything you thought you knew about that baby, about that experience and how it was going to change your life is now no more. It's null and void. It's gone. It's absent. It can never be replaced. It can never be restored no matter what. Love is like that, where you go into it with all these hopes and dreams. And particularly, one of the things I talk about pretty extensively in the beginning of the book, when I talk about what a love miscarriage is how little girls are brought up from infancy, basically, to think about marriage. And, we're in training. We're in preparation to be someone's wife. We're in training to seek out and find your knight in shining armor. And so everything we do leads up to finding this special person. And we're taught to believe through the Disney movies and such that Prince Charming exists. And so we buy the dream. We buy the dream that Disney sells. And it's not just Disney, it's Pixar, it's all of them. I'm not just going to pick on Disney. But that's the message we tell the little girls. Are you Belle? Are you Rapunzel? And so you see these strapping princes, and they come along and they scoop you up. Hey, Lauren Akers. They scoop you up and they complete you and they fulfill you. And all of a sudden, you once were no one until this Prince Charming comes along. And now as a little girl, all of a sudden you're someone. Now all of a sudden you can become a princess, where before you weren't a princess until you found your prince, leading us to grow up believing that we're not whole and complete without a mate. And yeah, that's just not true. That's not true. But that's what we're led to believe. And so we struggle oftentimes as women to become and be comfortable being whole, complete people without a relationship. And oftentimes we find that we feel like we need the relationship to define us. We need the relationship to say, oh, this is Mrs. So-and-so. Particularly women of an older generation. They would give up their whole first name and they would just become Mrs. John Smith. And that was tradition. And then we kind of got away from that, where at least we can continue to use I can use my own name at least. That's a good thing. Hey, Lauren, thank you. At least I can use my own name. So, that was progress. But at no time did anyone ever tell us that we could be complete without our Prince Charming. And so when you grow up your entire life believing that you need Prince Charming, first of all, believing that he's real. Second of all, believing that you need Prince Charming in order to make you special. And there's a big definer there. And so many little girls don't feel special because, this boy don't like them or that boy don't like them. And so we start breeding self-esteem issues into girls at a very, very young age. We breed into them feelings of inadequacy. We breed into them feelings of insecurity and neediness and dependency. Obviously, that's a sore subject for me. That will send me places. Jennifer, what's going on, Jen? That will send me places, because we need to be teaching our little girls that it does not take a prince for you to be a princess. Baby, you were born from a king. You are royalty as is. You don't need anybody else to complete you. You don't need anybody else to define you. But that's not what we're telling our little girls. We're telling them, oh, go out and find you a Prince Charming so you can be like the princesses in the Disney movies. No, baby girl, you don't need the king to define you to be a queen. You're a child of God. that makes you royalty. You were born into a promise. But we don't tell our little girls that. And so because we don't teach our little girls that they're special, whole, complete individuals without a Prince Charming, then we find ourselves raising little girls who end up with their hearts broken and destroyed and broken into 1,000,001 pieces, irreparably damaged to the point where they don't know how to pick up the broken pieces anymore. And so what they do is they continue to recycle these habits of going out and finding a relationship, because it takes a while before someone tells you. It takes a reality-based trainer to tell you that you're whole and complete all by yourself, and that the best thing you can do to find and sustain a happy, successful relationship is to learn to operate in a place of wholeness and completeness by yourself. By yourself. But we don't, like I said, we don't teach our little girls that, and so we send them out into the world looking for a Prince Charming that may or may not exist to complete them when they're already complete. And then this guy comes along, and he's Tony Leo, and he's on stage, and all of a sudden he's interested in me, Jenna. And he's gorgeous, and he's talented, and he's sexy, and he's everything that they told us in the Disney movies Prince Charming should be. And so you're like, wow, yeah, this is it. This is him. This is the one. And so in that moment of him demonstrating interest, expressing interest, you're captured. And once you're captured, your mind goes 990 in every different direction, because now you've started practicing signing your name with his last name, and you planning like wedding colors. And one of the jokes my niece and I talk about all the time is the celebrity wedding for Jenna and Tony, and how you just think about the whole thing, from how does my life change now that this new person is in it, and how is it going to be Mrs. So-and-so, and where will I live? Where will I, Jenna came to the conclusion she was ready to move. She was ready to relocate to Chicago, because that's where Tony was. Like, pick up my whole life, she said, and go to where you are, because you are Prince Charming. It's BS. Like, and then when he walks out, then what? When he walks out, no explanation, no nothing. He sold you the dream. He sold you the fantasy. He told you how it was gonna be. He made it sound so good, and he was everything that you ever thought Prince Charming should be. And then he walks out without a word, without a goodbye, without anything. And you all of a sudden have to resume life as you knew it before him, but you can't, because you had already in your mind recreated what life would be with him, and now he opted out and forgot to give you the memo. That's what a love miscarriage is. That's that kind of pain where you've changed in your mind. You have sold out. When I tell y'all, when I tell you I'm sold out to my happiness, Jenna was sold out to Tony, okay? She was sold the hell out. Like, yes, where he goes, I go. What he does, I do. Like in the movie Coming to America, the lady, like, be a big dog, woof, woof. Be a little dog, woof, woof. That kind of thing. That was Jenna and Tony. Oh, Lord, I can't read any more of these. My daughter loves that. She's talking. Yeah, exactly. So, and I still have not seen Black Panther. Don't inbox me no ugly mess about that, because I haven't seen the movie. But, exactly, Lauren. Like, that's the thing. Like, having those powerful images to show little girls that they can be masters of their own universe. They can be masters of their own world. They can create the world they want to live in. And that's, I was in my 40s before I became sold out to my happiness. I was in my 40s before I learned how to live life on Mars. And that's the lessons that we need to be teaching our little girls, is that, baby girl, you are royalty. You don't need a prince to make you a princess. Like, I need that on a shirt. I don't need a prince to be a princess. I need a shirt that says, I need to order those. Let me know if y'all want to order some shirts. But anyway, but that's the love miscarriage piece. That's what happens when love dies too soon. And so that's the parallel between the birth miscarriage and a love miscarriage, is you from inception versus from conception, from inception of this relationship, as a girl, as a woman, you see what this love is going to look like all grown up. You see yourself from start to finish, A to Z, all in. But boys aren't brought up that way. Little boys aren't brought up that way. Little boys are brought up to be whole and complete by themselves. They're told they run stuff. They told you're in charge. You don't need a woman. But then when you go biblically and you say, he who finds a wife, something like that. I tell you all the time, I'm not a theologian. I'm just a little bit spiritual. So, but I know that there's a verse in the Bible that talks about that. There's scripture that talks about that. And so, yeah, while we are designed to be paired up and to have a mate, we still need to go into these relationships as whole individuals. And I don't think people are being raised to know that. I know little girls are not being raised, being told that they're whole and complete on their own. And that makes me really sad. It makes me sad because we're going to continue to have women going through these experiences. I have a business because there are so many broken women. That pisses me off and it makes me sad. It makes me sad because I know that there's another option. But that's why helping another woman shine is so important to me. Because I know if I can have the conversation with you, if I can have that conversation to educate another woman, a young girl, and let them know that different is possible, and I have the tools to help you do that, all you have to do is take the tools, get the education, and then run with it, and your life will change. So I know that change is possible. I know different is possible. I know better is possible. And fortunately, I learned my lessons. I got the tools, and now I'm able to teach other people how to change their lives and change their how they interact with people. Teach people how to be in relation with them. Those of you who follow me know that is like my core thing. Like, you teach people how to be in relation with you. Jenna could have saved a whole hell of a lot of heartbreak if she would have taught Tony how to be in relation with her to begin with. That's real talk. Real talk. But she was still believing the fairy tales and falling for the okie doke. But that's why I'm passionate about being, and all my training, all my coaching programs are based in reality, making sure that no matter what you're doing, you are in touch with and in check with reality. So that's tonight's message. I went a little bit longer than I had probably intended, and that might probably be a consistent thing this week while I'm talking about this book, because this book is my heart, y'all. It's my heart. It really is my heart. And the sequel is called Rebranding Trust, and it really picks up where this leaves off with Jenna and Tony's story, and how you have to learn how to rebuild trust, how you have to rebrand it. You got to put a new label on it. So when y'all hear me talking about reframing stories, about our attachment to our past and attachments to our experiences, and how you have to reframe that, it's critical to be able to do that. And so rebranding trust is like the next step after you've had that miscarriage. Like, you have to learn to trust again. And so that's what I'm working on now. I'm going to encourage my daughter. She's writing. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad she's still writing. Thanks for that update, Lauren. It was my pleasure to be able to visit with her and to talk with her and to inspire a young writer. And your daughter's brilliant. She's beautiful. She's brilliant. She's so articulate and so ambitious. And she is just going to be absolutely amazing. And you should be, as a father, I know you are, but you should be so, 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 so proud of her. And, you know, just in the little time that I spent with her, one of the things that she shared with me was her observation of the other girls in her school and how girls interact with boys. And it was very interesting to hear from a young girl's perspective. And so, um, you know, she has her head on her shoulders, and you know that comes from, you know, having the open communication that I know she has at home. And so congratulations, she's absolutely amazing. And yeah, I don't worry about her falling prey to the whole the okey doke thing. We had a long talk about that. So yeah, tell her I said hello. But yeah, I'm gonna get off here tonight, y'all. It's late. But thank you so much for joining in, you guys. Thanks for chit chatting. Feel free to share the video out. If you want copies of the book, if you haven't already gotten it, it is on my website. The link I posted yesterday was messed up, so I fixed that and I reposted a link that goes directly into the store. So have a great night. As always, thanks for living life on Mars, guys. We'll talk soon. I'm out.